Do you have a hero in your life? Somebody that you like just highly respect, somebody that you just to be in their space, be in their presence, or maybe it's a hero that you read about, or that it's a hero at a distance, somebody that you study their life by book or by different types of media. But we all have heroes, don't we? Heroes are a great thing to have because they give us something to reach for, to look up to. So I want you to consider and think about your hero. What are they like? What kind of qualities do they have? What attracts you to that hero? What is attractive to you? How do they act? What types of words do they use? How do they walk? How do they stand? I have a hero in my life. My hero in my life is my mom. She's an incredible woman. My mom has been through a lot in her life, and she's a hero to me because I've watched her over these years of living with her and watching her as she has built a business and has had all kinds of different challenges in her life that she's overcome. My mom, she has just so inspired me, and honestly, you guys, she is one of the reasons why this company is this company, because during the dark days of time when things were challenging and we didn't know how we were going to make it and if it was going to work out, and my husband had quit his full-time job, and you know, it wasn't very fun during those years where things were not working out. He'd quit his job, and we didn't have insurance anymore, and we didn't have, you know, all the little benefits that, you know, a real job has, and we're moving forward trying to put pieces together, and the pieces weren't fitting right, and everybody out there in the world was just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? This is crazy. You guys are risking everything. You're sacrificing everything. Why don't you just go get a regular job? And my mom, she totally believed in us. She's a dreamer, and she's a big vision thinker. I'm going to tell you a little bit about where my mom came from so you can understand why she was like this. When she was growing up, she had a really, really difficult childhood. She lived in one of those houses on the street where, you know, everybody talks about the house in the neighborhood, and they always had, you know, just interesting reputation. People were really mean. My grandma, she had a difficult thing happen to her when she was raising her children. One of her children, her baby, drowned in the bathtub, and so during that time, with my grandma having that happen to her, she was, you know, at that time, they didn't know really how to deal with that type of, you know, situation. And so she was given medication to get her to, you know, not be crazy. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So she was very highly medicated through that time. And she basically just became a non-existent mother. She lived in the house, but she wasn't there mentally. And so my mom, being the oldest of all these 6 children, basically became the mom at like 7 years old. She's 7, and my grandma had, by the time my grandma was 21 years old, had 6 children. And one of them had passed away, and they were all hers. They were all her children. And she'd gotten divorced, and so my mom ended up being like the one that, you know, raised all these kids because my grandma was just not there. And it was a really tough childhood. They didn't have any money, and they didn't have clothes. And she would tell me stories of times when she would go to school, and you know, she'd have 2 dresses, and she'd alternate the dresses back and forth every other day. And she hated school because she was always so embarrassed and so ashamed of just what that would be like. And she said, you know, she didn't know how to take care of herself, and she didn't know how to do her hair, and so she'd have, you know, just not clean hair and all that stuff, and people would make fun of her and make fun of the family, and they would say all these mean things. So she had a really difficult childhood growing up. When she was in her real younger years, like, you know, even 8 years old, 10 years old, she recognized that she had this gift. And this gift was the gift of, she loved hair. She loved hair. She wanted to do everybody's hair. And so she'd have Barbies, and her Barbies would have no hair on them because she would cut it all off. And then my aunt, or actually all of my aunts, they would always have short hair because my mom was always cutting their hair and doing their hair. Well, she realized she had this incredible gift. So through the years of all this struggle that she had in her life, she ends up going to beauty school, and that's what she left. She left high school, went to beauty school, and she ends up becoming a cosmetologist. And she's now been doing hair for, let's see, gosh, a long time. I won't tell you how long, because then you'll know how old she is. You know, we don't tell our age, right, when we're women, right? So I won't tell you how old she is. So she's been doing hair for a really long time, and I remember when we were younger, and she, you know, even coming from all this background that she had come from, and all this really kind of messed up thinking. You know, when you come from a background like that, there's thinking that just isn't correct. Even how to feed your family. She didn't even know how to feed us, like when we were younger, because when she was growing up, it was, you know, they would eat noodles and butter, or they would just eat anything they could get their hands on. So she didn't know what it meant to have like a normal meal. So she had to like learn all those things as we were growing up. And I remember as we were growing up, my mom was doing hair, and she would tell my sister and I, she's like, one day I'm going to be a famous hairstylist. I am. And one day my name is going to be in the credits. Like we would go to movies, and she goes, see that where it says hairdresser? My name's going to be there one day. One day my name's going to be there. And we would just like believe everything she said, you know? And we would believe her, and she would say that. And I'm thinking, you know, as I got a little older and I was a teenager, you know, here we are, she has a little home salon in our home, and she's working part-time. How is she ever going to be a famous hairstylist? How is it ever going to happen? But she kept believing it, and she kept dreaming about it, and she kept talking about her story, and she talked about her story, and she talked about her story, and she tell us her story. And one day, this really amazing thing happened. A friend of mine, she was the nanny of a very famous person. Well, this very famous person, her hairstylist was sick that day, and she needed somebody to do her hair. So my friend, who's the nanny of this particular person, calls me up and says, I need to talk to your mom. This person needs her hair done, and this other person, you know, is her regular hairdresser is sick. Do you think that your mom could do her hair? And I'm like, yeah. So we connect my mom, and my mom actually is having to fly to California to do her hair, this famous person's hair. And do you think she was freaking out? Yeah, she was freaking out. And the particular thing that she was going to be doing to her hair, she didn't even actually know how to do it. But my mom is so confident, and she is so like good at what she does, and she just believes that she can figure out anything, that when she gets there, she like looks at her hair and she's like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. So as she's doing her hair, she's figuring out how to do her hair. Okay? So she ends up doing her hair. This famous person completely falls in love with her and has never stopped doing her hair. She still does her hair to this day. For 25 years, she's traveled all over the world with this person. She's now a famous hairstylist. Yes. Her name has been in the credits. Her name has been in magazines with this person as the hairstylist of this famous person. Is that cool? Yeah. So you just have to believe. And so my mom is my hero because she believes she can do anything. There's just nothing too big for my mom. If my mom wants it, she's going to figure out a way to get it. She will figure out under, around, or through how to get that thing. And that's why Mom is my hero. And so at times when we weren't sure if this company was going to make it, my mom would believe in us, and she'd say, you can do this. I believe in you. You can make this happen. And so my mom is the reason why this company is here today. So let's give my mom a huge round of applause. Hey, it's Kim Duncan. How's my girlfriend? I hope you're doing amazing. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because you know what? I want you to have more of this really cool stuff, because it changed my life and it can change yours too. And in fact, also go to Facebook, because Facebook's amazing and I'll have all kinds of cool stuff there. Go to my Facebook page, which is Kim Duncan, or the 3 Key Elements Facebook page. And then there's a really cool gift I'd love to give you, and that is on our website on 3keyelements.com. Go ahead and go there, because you will get a free vision board map, and that can change your life. It changed mine, and it can change yours. I hope you have an amazing, incredible day. Love ya.